There's a cafe by my house that serves really good roast chicken. It's moist, it's tender, and well seasoned. I think the secret is in the simplicity of preparation. I think it's a brine chicken with cumin. And tonight I'm going to make that chicken, plus I'm going to add Marjoram to it. First, let's go out and get some Marjoram. Here in the resort garden, the Marjoram is nice and green. It likes the cooler winter and fall weather, and it's kind of spread out quite a lot. Grown from seed, it's really easy to do, and once it's in the ground, it spreads somewhat quickly. It's a good ground cover crop for anyone interested in edible landscaping. The important thing about using Marjoram in the kitchen is that a little goes a long way. Let's go get some Mammoth sugar snap peas. These are heirloom variety. Here I've grown it in a container with a blood orange, and it would have been a lot more healthier if we didn't get winds and have the guy get knocked down in half and semi-growing. Um, Also, I would have had more if I didn't have my marauding tortoise who likes pea sprouts, so he took out all my mammoth plants. Back in the kitchen, let's start working with the marjoram by chopping it up finely. And once I have it chopped up, I'm going to put it in with the cumin powder here. Into that mix, I put in some salt, and then the chicken here has been brined. Brining helps season the chicken, and also it makes it moist when you're roasting it, especially all the lean parts like the breast meat. And this chicken is bigger than I would have liked. This is a 4-pound chicken. I wanted something a little bit smaller than this and bigger than a game hen. So after brining, I'm going to try this method called splat cocking, and that basically is cutting the chicken down the middle and roasting it that way. This way the temperature is evenly around the chicken, and you're gonna have well, it's self-explanatory, even cooking. The other key to a crispy skin is to separate the skin from the flesh, and this will make it crispy. And earlier, I didn't explain, also patting the skin dry. If I had more time, I would have treated this more like roasting a duck, a Chinese roast duck, where you let it air dry and get up to room temperature. But I'm already behind on the day, so I just have to pat it down, loosen the skin, and get my seasoning on the chicken. So once I have it on the rack, um, I'm gonna put it in the oven once it's warmed up. And I'm not using a roaster, I'm using a cookie sheet here, or a sheet pan. This way the temperature is nice and even again. The walls of a roasting pan will trap heat, concentrate heat in certain areas, and that again doesn't allow for even cooking. You just saw me de-rib a sugar snap pea, so that's a very tough part of the pea. It's on both ends. It's like pulling a zipper. Just pull the ribs apart. And now I'm gonna slice up the mushrooms. Mushrooms are something I want to try grow, so maybe one day. But in the meantime, store-bought it is. And here's some thyme from the garden that's out in the front yard. And um, those are always good for a simple mushroom sauce, or in this case, just a mushroom side. Before the mushrooms went in, I had some butter and I threw in the thyme, and now I'm just going to saute the mushroom and sweat it out a little bit. And when it's been sweat out somewhat, I'm going to throw in the sugar peas in here, and I'm going to use the mushrooms to cover the peas and let that kind of steam a little bit. Now the chicken's out. It's not as dark skinned as I liked. Probably should have put some oil to help it along. It's also an old oven, so it's a lot of finagling. My temperatures aren't always what it says it's going to be, so I always have to check. But the meat is cooked right with temperature probe. It's cooked right, so I don't want to overcook and dry the meat out just for a good looking skin. So now it's time to cut it up and plate. Some leftover mashed potatoes from the other day, red skin mashed potatoes.
Throw the breast meat on top. Since it's nice and perfectly cooked, there's not a need for gravy. It's nice and moist. And there we have it, the roast chicken with cumin, marjoram, and a side of mushroom, sugar snap peas, and underneath some mashed potatoes. Thanks for watching. I hope you come back and see what I'm cooking up next.